You are not just one person. You are three people fighting for control inside your own head. But have you ever stopped to wonder, who's really in charge? And what happens when the wrong part takes the wheel? Today, we're diving into an idea so old it predates your coffee addiction, but so relevant it could change the way you see yourself forever. All right, let's talk about your soul, because according to Plato, you're basically a three-person circus act, and the real question is, who's the ringleader? In the Republic, Plato lays out his famous tripartite soul theory, arguing that your mind is split into three parts: the rational, the spirited, and the appetitive. Think of it like a chariot. Rational is the charioteer, trying to steer two wildly different horses, one noble and disciplined, your spirited side full of courage and ambition. Ideally, reason should be in charge, keeping your emotions and desires in check so you don't say rage text your ex or eat an entire cake at 2 a.m. But if reason loses control, well, let's just say history and your own bad decisions are proof of what happens when emotions or desires take the wheel. The spirited part of the soul is where your willpower, anger, and sense of justice live. It can be your greatest strength, pushing you to stand up for what's right, or your biggest liability, turning you into a Twitter warrior who picks fights over pineapple on pizza. It's supposed to work alongside reason, keeping your desires in check. But if it gets corrupted, say hello to unchecked rage, stubborn pride, and a strong urge to argue with strangers online. And then there's the appetitive part, your inner hedonist. This is the part of you that just wants food, sleep, money, and whatever else sounds fun in the moment. It's not evil, but it's definitely a handful. Left to its own devices, it'll turn you into a walking impulse purchase, chasing whatever feels good with zero regard for consequences. In Plato's ideal world, reason calls the shots, spirit enforces discipline, and appetite knows its place. But let's be real, how often does that actually happen? Plato takes this idea further, saying that just like the soul, society also works best when it's three classes: the rulers, reason, the warriors, spirit, and the producers, appetite, each play their proper role. The philosopher kings are supposed to be the wise, rational leaders, the warriors enforce order, and the producers handle everything else, from farming to shoemaking to whatever the ancient Greek version of customer service was. If everyone stays in their lane, society thrives. But if, say, the greedy appetitive class takes over, you get corruption, excess, and chaos, kind of like what happens when corporate CEOs make decisions based on profit instead of logic or ethics. Not that Plato would know about capitalism, but hey, the metaphor still works. Fast forward to later philosophers, and you'll see echoes of Plato's theory everywhere. The Stoics doubled down on reason as the ultimate ruler. Neoplatonists like Plotinus turned the soul's struggle into a mystical journey toward the divine. And Freud, yeah, that Freud, gave us the ID, ego, and superego, which is basically Plato's model, but with more childhood trauma. Even Christian theologians like Augustine latched onto the idea, painting reason as divine and bodily desires as sinful. The point is, this idea didn't just stay in ancient Greece. It evolved, adapted, and somehow survived into the modern world. Even today, we see this idea everywhere, from self-help gurus preaching mind over matter to modern psychology's view of impulse control. So, what do you think? Are you ruled by reason, driven by ambition, or completely at the mercy of your cravings? I'll leave you to discuss in the comments. You can support us by subscribing if you haven't already. Take care of yourselves, take care of your loved ones, and I'll catch you soon in another video.